Millionaire, son wanted to sell his sick father's Christmas store. When he opened his dead mother's secret safe, he fell to his knees. What would you do if you discovered that your family's beloved toy store held 40 years of Christmas secrets? For James Hawthorne, facing his last holiday season, protecting his wife's hidden legacy becomes a race against time. When greed threatens to destroy everything they've built, a trail of mysterious Christmas ornaments might hold the key to saving not just the store, but the true meaning of the season. Sometimes the greatest gifts are the ones we never knew existed, and the most precious family treasures are hidden in plain sight. Join us for a touching story about love, legacy, and the real magic of Christmas at Hawthorne Toys. James Hawthorne sat quietly in Dr. Peterson's office, his weathered hands folded in his lap. The morning light filtered through the window, casting long shadows across the diagnosis papers on the desk. Pancreatic cancer. Terminal. 3 to 6 months. "Are you sure you don't want me to call someone, Mr. Hawthorne?" Dr. Peterson asked, concern evident in his voice. "No, thank you," James replied, his voice steady despite the news. At 75, he'd learned that how you handled bad news mattered more than the news itself. As he walked through the parking lot to his car, memories flooded back. 38 years ago, in this same hospital, he'd opened his first toy store in the children's ward. Sarah, his beloved wife, had surprised him with the startup money as a wedding gift. "Every child deserves a magical Christmas," she'd always said. The familiar bell chimed as James entered Hawthorne's Toys and Dreams, his flagship store. Christmas decorations were already up, and the sound of children's laughter filled the air. Mary Jenkins, his store manager of 30 years, was helping a young mother choose a doll. "Good morning, Mr. H," Mary called out, her smile warming the room. "The Christmas donation lists from the Children's Hospital just came in." James nodded, making his way to his office. On his desk, a paper had slipped out of the fax machine. His heart skipped a beat as he read the header: Megatoys Corporation, Preliminary Acquisition Proposal. Before he could process this, his phone rang. The screen displayed Robert, his son's name bringing a mix of love and worry. "Dad, we need to talk about some necessary changes." Robert's voice was all business. "Caroline and I are flying in tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" James struggled to keep the surprise from his voice. His son, a Wall Street executive, rarely left New York, especially not on such short notice. "The store chain needs modernizing, Dad. We can't keep running it like it's still 1985. James looked out his office window. Tommy, who'd started as a stock boy 40 years ago, was demonstrating a remote control car to an awestruck child. Beside him, a Christmas tree sparkled with ornaments handmade by local children. "We'll talk tomorrow, son," James said finally. After hanging up, he called his old friend and lawyer, Michael O'Connor. "Michael, I need you to come to the store today." While waiting for Michael, James found himself in the store's storage room. In a dusty corner sat the old rocking horse Sarah had insisted on keeping. "It's not just a toy," she'd said. "It's a reminder of why we started this." That had been right after they lost their daughter, Emily, to leukemia. Instead of letting grief consume them, Sarah had transformed their pain into purpose, starting the Christmas donation tradition that had helped thousands of children over the decades. The store's bell chimed again. Through the storage room door, James could hear Emma, his granddaughter, talking to Mary about the upcoming Christmas preparations. Emma, so much like Sarah, same kind heart, same belief in Christmas magic. His phone buzzed with a text from Robert. "Called a board meeting for tomorrow afternoon. Time for some serious changes." James touched the faded wood of the rocking horse, remembering Sarah's words from their last Christmas together. "Promise me you'll protect our legacy, James. It's not about the money, it's about the magic we've created." Looking at the Megatoys proposal, then at his medical report, James knew he had to act fast. The clock was ticking, in more ways than one. This would be his last Christmas, and he would make sure it counted. Outside his office, the holiday music played softly and children's laughter echoed through the store. James Hawthorne squared his shoulders and took a deep breath. He had work to do, and not much time to do it. After all, he had a promise to keep. The black limousine pulled up to Hawthorne Mansion just as the first snowflakes began to fall. Robert Hawthorne stepped out, checking his Rolex, a habit from his Wall Street days. His wife Caroline followed, her designer heels clicking on the driveway. "I can't believe your father still lives in this old place," Caroline muttered, eyeing the Christmas wreaths on every window. "It must be worth a fortune in real estate alone." Inside the toy store across town, Emma Hawthorne was helping a customer when she noticed Mrs. Parker clutching a faded photo. "I had to come," the elderly woman said, her eyes welling up. "Your grandmother helped my Tommy 20 years ago. We couldn't afford his cancer treatments, and suddenly all these anonymous donations started coming in." Emma's response was interrupted by her phone buzzing, a message from her father about dinner. She hadn't seen Robert in 8 months, not since he'd missed her birthday for a business deal. At the mansion, James watched his son inspect the living room like it was a property listing. Robert had changed since moving to New York. Everything about him screamed corporate success, from his perfectly tailored suit to his calculated smile. "The kitchen staff could have at least updated these decorations," Caroline said, picking at the handmade ornaments on the Christmas tree. "They look like children made them." "They did," James replied quietly. "From the children's ward, your mother started that tradition." Dinner was served in the formal dining room, where Sarah's empty chair seemed to highlight the family's fractures. Robert waited until the main course to start his pitch. "Dad, retail is changing. These mom-and-pop toy stores are dinosaurs. Megatoys has made an excellent offer." "You've been talking to Megatoys?" Emma interrupted, her fork clattering against her plate. "Someone has to think about the future," Robert countered. "The Christmas donation program alone costs us millions." "Those donations help real people," Emma argued. "Mrs. Parker came in today." "This isn't about charity," Caroline cut in. "It's about business. The board meeting tomorrow." "What board meeting?" James asked, though he already knew. "As major shareholder, I've called an emergency session," Robert said. "We need to discuss modernization strategies." Emma watched her grandfather's face. He showed no surprise, only a deep sadness that made her heart ache. "And what does modernization mean?" James asked. "Streamlining operations, digital integration, reducing unnecessary expenses." Robert's corporate speak filled the room like cold air. "The Christmas program, for instance. Your mother started that program," James said firmly. "Mom's been gone for 5 years, Dad. Times change." The rest of dinner passed in tense silence. Later, Emma found her grandfather in his study, looking at old photographs. "You knew about Megatoys, didn't you?" she asked. "Your father's been planning this for months," James replied. "The facts today just confirmed it. We can't let him destroy everything you and Grandma built." James smiled sadly. "Sometimes, Emmy, people have to lose something to understand its value." Upstairs, Robert was on the phone with Megatoys executives. "Yes, everything's proceeding as planned. The board meeting tomorrow will get the ball rolling." Caroline unpacked her designer luggage, complaining about the old house. "Once the sale goes through, we can convince him to move somewhere more suitable." In her childhood bedroom, Emma found her grandmother's old Christmas ornament box. Inside, hidden beneath faded tinsel, she discovered a stack of letters she'd never seen before. The snow fell harder outside, covering the mansion in white. Tomorrow would bring the board meeting and whatever changes Robert had planned. But tonight, in the quiet of her room, Emma began to read her grandmother's letters, unaware that she was about to uncover a secret that would change everything. Down in his study, James lifted the phone and dialed. "Michael? We need to move faster than we planned." Roberts made his move. The clock struck midnight. Christmas was 2 weeks away, and the real battle for Hawthorne's legacy was about to begin. Emma woke early, determined to finish decorating the attic for Christmas before the board meeting. As she moved old boxes, a wooden chest tucked behind holiday decorations caught her eye. Inside, she found bundles of letters tied with red ribbon. "Mom was right about you," she read in her grandmother's handwriting. "Today, you showed the same stubbornness as your father." Emma checked the date, December 1995. Downstairs, James sat across from Michael O'Connor in his study. "It's pancreatic cancer, Michael. 3 to 6 months. The lawyer of 50 years dropped his pen. "James, I'm so sorry. No time for that. Robert's moving faster than we expected. He's called a board meeting for today." "To push the Megatoys sale?" "That's my guess. We need to accelerate our plan." At the downtown office building, Robert straightened his tie before entering the Megatoys conference room. 5 executives waited, laptops open. "Mr. Hawthorne," the CEO greeted. "Our offer stands at $180 million. Your father's traditional approach has limited the company's potential." "He's stuck in the past," Robert agreed. "The Christmas donation program alone bleeds money." Back in the attic, Emma opened another letter. This one was different, tear-stained and wrinkled. "My dearest James," she read. "Emily's gone. The cancer took our baby girl. But today I watched you give her favorite teddy bear to a sick child in the hospital. You said it's what she would have wanted. You were right." Emma's hands trembled. She'd never known much about the aunt she'd never met. In the mansion's parlor, Caroline cornered Mary, the store manager, who'd stopped by to drop off reports. "Between us," Caroline whispered, "have you noticed any changes in James lately? Confusion? Poor decisions? Mr. Hawthorne, he's sharp as ever." "Really? Because running a charity instead of a business seems confused to me." James and Michael worked steadily in the study, reviewing documents. "The video will be crucial," Michael said. "We need to record your testimony while you're clearly of sound mind." "Robert will challenge it." "Caroline's already planting seeds about your mental state." Emma found another letter, newer than the others. "James, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But our work isn't finished. Remember the green ledger? The one we never discussed? It's time. Look behind Emily's portrait in the store office." The store office? Emma checked her watch. Still 2 hours before the board meeting. Robert's phone buzzed during the Megatoys meeting. "Yes, Caroline?" "Mary's no help, but I've been talking to other employees, planting little doubts about James's capability." "Good. Dad's Christmas obsession makes our case stronger. Keep working on it." Emma rushed to the store, using her key to enter through the back. In the office, Emily's portrait hung where it always had. Behind it, she found a slim green book. Names filled the pages, hundreds of them. Dates, amounts, notes. Thompson family, daughter's surgery. Williams boy, cancer treatment. Baker family, father's medical bills. Her phone rang. "Emma?" James's voice was tired. "Where are you?" "Grandpa, I found something." "Grandma's ledger. All these families. Bring it to the board meeting." "And Emmy?" "Whatever happens today, remember, your grandmother believed good always wins in the end." Robert ended his Megatoys meeting with a handshake. "By Christmas, gentlemen, Hawthorne Toys will be yours." In his study, James faced the video camera Michael had set up. "My name is James Hawthorne," he began. "This is my testimony regarding the true purpose of Hawthorne Toys and my final wishes for its future." The snow continued falling outside. In 2 hours, the board would meet. Sarah's letters lay scattered in the attic. Her secret ledger sat in Emma's bag. And in his study, James Hawthorne prepared to fight for everything he and Sarah had built. The truth about their legacy was finally emerging, piece by piece. The boardroom filled quickly. Robert stood at the head of the table, slides ready on the projector. "Our fourth quarter numbers show a concerning trend," he began, clicking through charts. "The Christmas donation program has grown beyond sustainable levels." Emma clutched her grandmother's ledger under the table, watching her father manipulate the data. He'd combine charitable expenses with regular operating costs, making the store's performance appear worse than reality. "Furthermore," Robert continued, "our market research suggests the Hawthorne brand is seen as outdated. Megatoys offers us—" "Excuse me." A voice from the doorway interrupted. Linda Chen, the head accountant, stepped in. "Those numbers aren't accurate." "Linda, this is a closed meeting," Caroline said sharply. James watched silently, noting how his son's jaw tightened, a tell from childhood when he was caught in a lie. After the meeting, Emma searched her father's office while everyone was at lunch. Under a stack of papers, she found what she feared: psychiatric evaluation forms, already filled out with Dr. Marcus's name at the top. Her phone buzzed. A text from Mary: "Emergency at the store. Come quickly." At Hawthorne Toys, she found the staff gathered in the break room. Caroline stood before them, all corporate smile and calculated warmth. "Change is inevitable," Caroline was saying. "The transition to Megatoys ownership will be smooth. Of course, some positions will be redundant. You can't fire people right before Christmas," Tommy, the veteran employee, protested. "We prefer strategic reorganization," Caroline replied. In his home office, James sat before Michael's camera again. Sarah and I never wanted just a toy store. Every Christmas, we saw families struggling. Medical bills, job losses. That's why we started the donation program. And the secret fund? Michael asked off camera. Sarah's idea. We put aside 30% of our profits. The store wasn't just selling toys, it was saving lives. The office door opened. Emma rushed in. Grandpa, you need to see this. She handed him the psychiatric evaluation forms. Dr. Marcus? James read. I've never met him. He's Caroline's cousin, Michael discovered after a quick phone call. Recently licensed. Emma's phone rang. Hello? Is this Emma Hawthorne? An unfamiliar voice asked. I'm Susan Baker. Your grandmother helped my family 15 years ago. I heard rumors about the store closing. I had to call. How did she help you? Anonymous donations for my son's surgery. We never knew where they came from until Sarah visited Tommy in the hospital. She made us promise to keep it secret. James recorded another segment. The true value of Hawthorne Toys was never in its assets. Sarah understood that wealth without purpose is meaningless. Robert worked late at his temporary office, phone to his ear. Yes, I know Dad's filming something with his lawyer. No, it won't matter once Dr. Marcus evaluates him. Yes, the board's practically in our pocket. Caroline moved through the store after hours, directing movers to catalog everything. These decorations need to go, she told them, pointing to the handmade ornaments. And that rocking horse? Trash it. That was Emily's, Mary protested. Emily's been dead for 40 years, Caroline snapped. It's time this company joined the present. In the mansion's study, Emma spread out her grandmother's ledger. Over 300 families, Grandpa. All these years. Your grandmother believed every child deserves a magical Christmas, James said softly, even if it meant selling her own jewelry to help someone in need. Mr. Hawthorne? Michael interrupted from the doorway. The staff would like to speak with you, all of them. The old employees gathered in the mansion's living room, faces worried but determined. Tommy stepped forward. We know what's happening, sir, he said. We want you to know, we're with you, whatever comes next. James looked at these people, his real family, and thought of Sarah. She'd known this day might come. That's why she'd left the letters, the ledger, the clues. The battle for Hawthorne Toys was just beginning, and James had one card left to play, one his son never saw coming. Dr. Marcus's office felt staged, like a set designed to impress. James sat calmly as Caroline's cousin flipped through his notes. Your son mentions frequent confusion about business decisions, Dr. Marcus said, and this fixation with Christmas donations. Tell me, doctor, James interrupted. How long have you been practicing? 8 months. And your connection to my daughter-in-law. Dr. Marcus's pen stopped moving. In the corner, Robert shifted uncomfortably. At the store, Emma confronted Caroline in the stockroom. I know about Dr. Marcus. Your father requested the evaluation? Caroline replied smoothly. He's your cousin. Did the board know that when you recommended him? The board trusts our judgment, dear. Unlike your grandfather, who turns a business into a charity case. Emma stormed out, nearly colliding with Michael, who was carrying old files. Perfect timing, he said. Look what I found in the archive. The yellow document showed a mortgage on Sarah's family estate. The date matched the store's first financial crisis in 1989. Your grandmother saved the store, Michael explained, sold her inheritance, mortgaged everything, never told your grandfather. In the mansion's study, James and Michael reviewed their plan. The video testimony is strong, Michael said, but we need more. The board meets again tomorrow. Sarah left something else, James replied, in the Christmas decorations. Every year, she added one special ornament to the collection. Emma searched through the store's Christmas boxes. Each ornament had a date, a name. She found one from 1989, Baker family, another from 1992, Thompson kids. They weren't just decorations, she realized. They were records. Caroline tried accessing James's private safe while he was at the doctor's. The security guard caught her. Mrs. Hawthorne, I need authorization. I'm your future boss, she snapped. That's all the authorization you need. The guard called Emma instead. James sat in his study watching old Christmas videos. Sarah stood beside a rocking horse helping a small boy. That's Tommy Baker, Michael said. The surgery your wife arranged. She mortgaged her estate that year, James remembered. Told me it was for store inventory. Emma burst in. Caroline tried to break into your safe. Expected, James nodded, but she's looking in the wrong place. The next video showed Sarah hanging Christmas ornaments. One day, she told the camera, "These will tell our story, James. The real story." Robert paced his hotel room, phone to his ear. "The doctor's evaluation is taking too long. Megatoys wants answers." "No, Caroline, we need this done before Christmas." At the store, Emma found Mary sorting through old photos. "Your grandmother started something special," Mary said. "Every Christmas Eve, she'd gather us all. We'd hang one new ornament, but we never knew why she chose specific ones." Emma showed her the ledger. Each ornament matches a family they helped. Mary's eyes widened. "The tree, it's not just decorations, it's evidence." James finished another video session with Michael. "Sarah knew this day might come," James said to the camera. "She knew someone might try to erase what we built. That's why she left the trail, the ornaments, the ledger, the mortgages, all of it." Robert received Dr. Marcus's preliminary report. Patient shows signs of emotional decision-making, prioritizing charity over business interests. "This isn't enough," Robert muttered. "We need something stronger." Caroline called her cousin. "We need more concrete symptoms, confusion, memory loss, whatever it takes." But Dr. Marcus had his own revelation. "You never said he was this sharp. I can't falsify." "We're family," Caroline reminded him. "Remember who helped pay for medical school?" The Christmas tree in the store window glittered. Each ornament now held new meaning, years of secret kindness, documented in glass and silver. "Dad," Emma said quietly, "we need to tell the whole story before it's too late." James nodded. "Sarah would say it's time. Gather everyone for tomorrow. The truth comes out at the Christmas party meeting." Outside, snow continued falling. Inside the safe wasn't just money. It was the truth about Hawthorne toys. And tomorrow, everyone would finally understand what Sarah had built, one Christmas at a time. Emma worked late at the store, searching through old files. Behind a loose panel in the office wall, her fingers found something, a worn leather diary. Her heart jumped as she recognized her grandmother's handwriting. "December 24th, 1985, she read. "Today we helped the Wilson family. Their daughter needs cancer treatment. James thinks we're just giving them a special Christmas discount, but I've arranged more, much more." The diary revealed an intricate network. Sarah had created a system of anonymous donations, carefully tracked through the store's accounting. Each Christmas ornament matched an entry, each family's story documented in detail. Across town, Robert sat in his temporary office, signing papers. "Send this to Megatoys immediately," he told his assistant. The preliminary sale agreement included his personal bonus, $5 million for making the deal happen. His phone buzzed, a text from Caroline. "That old bat Mary is causing trouble. Says she's calling a staff meeting about protecting the store's legacy." At the mansion, James struggled through a coughing fit. Michael rushed to his side with water. "We should postpone the meeting," Michael suggested. "No time," James wheezed. "Robert's already signing papers with Megatoys." Emma's phone lit up with a message from Susan Baker. "Found more proof. My mother kept all the letters from the Christmas angel. It was Sarah. She helped dozens of families in our neighborhood." The diary entries continued. March 1990, established the Shadow Fund, converting my inheritance into a trust. James can't know yet. He'd try to stop me, protect me. But these families need help more than I need security. Caroline stormed into the store's break room. "Mary, you're fired." "You can't fire me," Mary replied calmly. "Only Mr. Hawthorne has that authority. We'll see about that after the sale goes through." Emma discovered a hidden compartment in the diary's cover. Inside, a letter addressed to James. "My love, if you're reading this, then they're trying to destroy what we built. Remember our first Christmas together? The gift I promised would last forever? Look in the store's basement, behind the old train display." Robert's phone rang. Megatoys CEO, "The board wants to announce the acquisition before Christmas. Bigger holiday impact." "My father," Robert started. "Your father won't be a problem once the medical evaluation comes through, right?" Emma called her grandfather. "The diary. Grandma built a secret network. All these families." "I know, Emmy. Your grandmother was always smarter than me. She knew this day would come." Down in the store basement, Emma found the train display. Behind it, a safe built into the wall. The combination? the date of her grandparents' first Christmas together. Inside, documents, photos, letters, proof of Sarah's secret charity network, bank statements showing how she'd leveraged her own inheritance to help others while keeping the store profitable. James recorded another video segment. Sarah didn't just help people, he told the camera. She gave them dignity. Anonymous help, letting them believe they'd earned special discounts or won contests. She understood that true charity preserves pride. Caroline tried accessing the store's main computer system. These passwords should work, she muttered, typing in codes Robert had gotten from the IT department. Access denied flashed on the screen. The system's set to lock down before Christmas, Mary explained from the doorway. Mrs. Hawthorne's protocol. Only she and Mr. Hawthorne knew why. Emma pieced it together. The ornaments, the diary, the hidden documents. Every Christmas decoration in the store held meaning. Every hiring decision, every special discount, part of Sarah's plan to help the community. Robert's deal with Megatoys would destroy it all. Michael, James said quietly, it's time to show Robert what Christmas really means at Hawthorne Toys. The snow fell harder outside. Christmas was just days away, and Sarah's final gift, the truth about her legacy, was about to change everything. The store buzzed with last-minute Christmas preparations. Emma hung ornaments while connecting calls on her phone. Yes, Mrs. Baker, please bring those letters. Mr. Wilson, we need your testimony. Mrs. Thompson, your photos will help. Robert burst through the front door. What's this about a press conference tomorrow? Caroline scheduled it, Emma replied, to announce the Megatoys sale. That wasn't the plan, it's too soon. At the courthouse, Michael filed a thick stack of documents. Rush processing, please. This needs to be legal before the Christmas party. The clerk checked the papers. Transfer of ownership, establishment of a trust. These are major changes, Mr. O'Connor. That's why time is crucial. James sat in his study reviewing Sarah's records. Each ornament on the tree matched a family in the ledger. 40 years of secret kindness documented in glass and gold. His phone rang. Mr. Hawthorne? This is Judge Parker. My son Tommy. Your wife helped us in '92. I heard what's happening with the store. We could use your help, Judge. Caroline paced the hotel room. The press conference is set. Channel 5 confirmed. Cancel it, Robert ordered. We need to announce before someone leaks the truth about your father's charity network. What truth? Caroline froze. She hadn't meant to reveal that. Emma discovered more families arriving at the store. Mrs. Wilson brought hospital records. Mr. Thompson had bank statements, each piece added to Sarah's puzzle. Your grandmother saved my house, Mrs. Wilson explained. The Christmas bonus discount she gave us, it was exactly what we needed for the mortgage. Robert called his lawyer. I need to speed up the competency hearing. Tomorrow, if possible. Courts are busy before Christmas, the lawyer warned. Make it happen. At the store, Mary gathered the staff. They fired me, but I'm not leaving. Mrs. Hawthorne helped my sister through nursing school, called it an employee scholarship. More stories emerged. The janitor's daughter's college fund, the cashier's mother's surgery. Sarah had helped them all. James recorded another video segment. The true value of a business isn't its profit margin, it's the lives it touches. His phone buzzed, a message from his doctor. The cancer was progressing faster than expected. Caroline spotted Emma talking to former employees. Security, remove these people. We have shopping rights, Mrs. Baker announced. See these receipts? All officially documented discounts. Robert arrived at the mansion. Dad, this has to stop. Sit down, son. There's something you need to see. James played a video, Christmas 1992. Young Robert helping Sarah hang ornaments. Remember what these meant? James asked. Each one represented a family you helped that year. I was just following Mom's instructions. You were learning her legacy. Emma called an emergency meeting. The families gathered in the store after hours, sharing stories, connecting dates. Sarah's network grew clearer with each revelation. Michael returned from court. Everything's filed, legal and binding. Does Robert suspect? James asked. He's too focused on the competency hearing. Caroline prepared her press statement. Hawthorne Toys joins the Megatoys family. But across town, different stories were spreading. Social media filled with memories of the store's secret kindness. Local news caught wind of Sarah's charity network. Dad, Emma said, we need to tell them everything. Tomorrow. James nodded. Sarah would say, "It's time. Let's give them a Christmas party they'll never forget." Robert stared at the Christmas video, watching his younger self help families in need. Something stirred in his memory, a lesson his mother had tried to teach him. The snow fell outside. Tomorrow would bring either the end of Hawthorne Toys or its greatest Christmas miracle. Sarah's final gift was about to be opened. The truth about Sarah's network emerged piece by piece through the morning. Emma spread documents across the store's conference table, connecting 40 years of secret kindness. "Look at this," she told Michael. "Every Christmas ornament links to a small business loan or medical fund. Grandma created an entire support system." The ledger revealed more than charity. Sarah had established a network of small businesses, each helping others in turn. The bakery she helped save now provided free meals to struggling families. The auto shop offered repairs at cost to single parents. James sat before the video camera one last time. "Sarah built more than a charity," he explained. "She created a community that helps itself." Robert's phone rang, Megatoy's CEO demanding answers. "The board's offering $10 million, personal bonus. Get this done before Christmas. I need more time." "Time's up, Robert. Sign the papers today or the deal's off." Emma discovered a letter in Sarah's diary. "My dearest James, by now you know the truth. Every ornament, every discount, every lucky draw winner, they're all connected. Our store wasn't just selling toys, it was giving hope." Caroline rushed into the store. "The press is asking questions about some secret charity network." "Not secret," Mary corrected. "Just quiet, like Mrs. Hawthorne wanted." Michael finished the legal documentation. "The trust is established. Once the judge signs, will it hold?" James asked. "Sarah planned this perfectly. Everything's legal." More families arrived with proof. Mrs. Wilson's bakery receipts showed years of discounted birthday cakes for foster kids. Mr. Knott Thompson's auto shop had fixed dozens of cars for struggling nurses. "Your mother built this," James told Robert, showing him the evidence. "Every business she helped had one condition: pay it forward." Robert stared at the documents. The scope of his mother's work finally hit him. This wasn't just charity, it was an ecosystem of kindness. Emma found Sarah's final letter, dated just before her death. "The store was never about toys, James. It was about giving people dignity, help disguised as business, charity that looked like luck." Caroline called the Megatoys lawyers. "There must be a way to stop this." "Not legally," they replied. "Mrs. Hawthorne's trust is ironclad." James finished his video testimony. "My wife spent 30 years building this network. I spent 5 years protecting it. Now it's time for the next generation." Robert read the Megatoys contract again. The fine print revealed their true plans: liquidate inventory, sell the property, eliminate unprofitable traditions. Emma organized the Christmas party preparations. Each ornament would be displayed with its story. Each family would share their connection. "Your grandmother was brilliant," Michael said. "She created a self-sustaining community support system, disguised as a toy store." The news spread through town. More families came forward. The network grew larger with each revelation. Sarah's final gift wasn't just the truth, it was proof that business and kindness could coexist. James watched the snowfall outside his study. Tomorrow's Christmas party would change everything. Sarah's legacy would finally be revealed, and Robert would have to choose between $10 million and his mother's life work. The true spirit of Christmas at Hawthorne Toys was about to be unveiled. The store transformed for the annual Christmas party. Each ornament on the massive tree now displayed a photo and story. 40 years of secret kindness, finally revealed. "They're all here," Emma told her grandfather as guests arrived. Families touched by Sarah's network filled the aisles. Children who'd received special Christmas discounts for cancer treatments. Parents who'd found mysterious scholarships for their kids. Robert watched from the second-floor office. The Megatoys contract sat unsigned on his desk. The $10 million bonus figure circled in red. "Sign it," Caroline insisted, "before they ruin everything with this charity nonsense." Local reporters gathered outside, drawn by rumors of a major announcement, but these weren't the business journalists Caroline had invited for the Megatoys announcement. "Channel 5 is interviewing the Baker family," Mary reported. "They're telling everyone about Sarah's help with their daughter's surgery." James greeted Judge Parker at the door. "Everything ready?" "Documents are signed. just waiting for the right moment. Caroline spotted unfamiliar faces in the crowd. Who are all these people? This was supposed to be a business announcement. These are our real investors, Emma explained. The families who kept Hawthorne's true mission alive. Robert's phone buzzed. Megatoy's CEO demanding updates. He silenced it, watching the scene below. Mrs. Wilson from the bakery set up a display of old receipts. Each showed a Christmas discount that matched a medical bill or mortgage payment. Your mother saved my business, she told Robert, then helped me save 3 others. The auto shop owner, Mr. Thompson, brought photos. Every car we fixed through Sarah's program, those people started helping others too. It never stopped. Emma organized the presentations. Each family would share their story, connecting their ornament to Sarah's legacy. The press is asking questions, Caroline hissed to Robert. Do something. But Robert stood frozen, watching his childhood memories play out. He remembered helping his mother hang these ornaments, never understanding their true meaning. James took the stage, his voice steady despite his illness. Welcome to our true Christmas tradition. Sarah called it the Circle of Hope. The lights dimmed, a video began playing, Sarah's final Christmas message, recorded before her death. Caroline grabbed her phone. I'm calling security. This ends now. No, Robert said quietly, let them finish. More stories emerged. The nurse whose student loans vanished after a store lottery. The teacher who received anonymous classroom supplies every September. Your grandmother created something remarkable, Michael told Emma. A business that generated profit and purpose. James watched his son's face as the stories unfolded. The moment of truth approached. Sarah's voice filled the store from the video. Remember, James, Christmas isn't about toys, it's about hope. And hope multiplies when we share it. Robert looked at the contract on his desk, then at the families below. His mother's legacy waited for his decision. The snow fell outside, Christmas lights reflecting off each flake. Inside, 40 years of secret kindness stood revealed, and the true spirit of Hawthorne Toys was about to be decided. James stood at the podium as Sarah's video ended. My wife built something extraordinary here, he began. Not just a store, but a network of hope. The crowd fell silent. Robert descended from the office, the unsigned Megatoys contract in his hand. For 40 years, James continued, every Christmas ornament on our tree represented a family helped. But Sarah's genius wasn't just in giving, it was in connecting. Emma started the next slideshow. Photos appeared on the screen. The Wilson Bakery providing food to homeless shelters, Thompson's auto shop training at-risk youth, dozens of small businesses helping others. Mom said it was store policy. Robert spoke suddenly from the audience. Every Christmas, we had to help 3 families. I never understood why. Caroline pushed through the crowd. This is ridiculous. We're here to announce the Megatoys merger. No, James replied. We're here to announce Sarah's final gift. Michael stepped forward with the legal documents. By order of the court, Hawthorne Toys is now officially a community trust. The reporters started writing frantically. Caroline grabbed for the papers, but Judge Parker blocked her path. 30% of all profits, James explained, will continue funding the network Sarah built. The store remains independent, owned by the community it serves. Emma revealed the trust structure. Every family helped would become part of the giving network. The Christmas fund would grow with each new connection. That's impossible, Caroline snapped. Robert, do something. But Robert stood transfixed by the old photos. Him as a child, helping his mother wrap gifts for special customers. The secret code she used for families in need. The real profit, James continued, isn't in the bank, it's in this room. Every person here represents a family helped, who then helped others. Mrs. Baker stepped forward. Sarah saved my daughter. We've helped 17 families since then. More stories poured out. The network was larger than anyone had realized. Hundreds of families, thousands of connections. The Megatoys offer, Robert said quietly, holding up the contract, doesn't understand what this store really sells. $10 million, Caroline reminded him sharply. Mom's legacy is worth more. Robert walked to the shredder. The contract disappeared in seconds. No, Caroline grabbed her phone. I'm calling Megatoys. It's too late, Michael announced. The trust is legal and binding. Sarah arranged everything before she died. James revealed the final document, Sarah's last letter to the community. Our store isn't just a business, it's a promise. Every Christmas ornament represents that promise, continued. The reporters rushed to interview families. Stories of secret help, anonymous donations, lives changed through Sarah's network filled their notebooks. Caroline stormed out, already calling her lawyer, but Robert remained, studying the ornament tree with new eyes. Each one has a story, Emma told him. Grandma kept every record. I remember this one, Robert touched a faded glass ball. The Thompson family, 1992. Mom made me deliver their gifts personally. James watched his son's face change as understanding dawned. Sarah's final gift wasn't just saving the store, it was saving their family. The real announcement, James concluded, isn't about a sale. It's about a legacy, continued. Sarah's network will keep growing, helping more families each year. Outside, the snow continued falling. Inside, 40 years of secret kindness stood revealed, and Hawthorne Toys' true mission was finally secured. Christmas magic, Sarah style, had won the day. The morning after the Christmas party, Robert arrived early at the store. He found Emma organizing Sarah's records in the office. Need help? He asked, picking up a box of old receipts. Emma paused, surprised. These are from 1992, your teenage years. They worked silently, sorting through decades of carefully disguised kindness. Each receipt told a story. Discounts that matched medical bills, layaway payments mysteriously completed. I remember this, Robert said, holding up a faded paper. The Stevens family. Mom made me deliver their Christmas order personally. Look at the date, Emma pointed. December 24th, the night Dad got sick. She said it couldn't wait. Now I understand why. James found them there, surrounded by papers. Your mother kept every record, he said from the doorway. She believed accountability matters, even in kindness. The store phone rang constantly. News of Sarah's network had spread. More families called to share their stories, offer help, join the circle. The trust needs a director, James said. Someone who understands both business and compassion. Robert looked up from an old photo, him and Sarah, hanging ornaments. Mom tried to teach me. I was too focused on profits to listen. It's not too late to learn, Emma said. Caroline's lawyer called 3 times. Robert let it go to voicemail. The $10 million bonus seemed hollow now, compared to his mother's legacy. The Thompson boy called, Mary reported. He's bringing 20 more families to share their stories. Robert remembered Tommy Thompson, the kid whose father lost his job. Sarah had created a special Christmas contest that provided food and gifts for months. We need to expand the network, Robert said suddenly. Use modern business practices to help more people. Emma smiled. Her father was finally understanding. James watched his son studying the trust documents. Your mother believed business success means nothing without purpose. The local news arrived for follow-up interviews. This time, Robert spoke about the real value of Hawthorne Toys, not its profit margins, but its impact on the community. Mom built something amazing, he told the reporters. I almost destroyed it because I couldn't see past the bottom line. Emma found another letter from Sarah, addressed to Robert. For when you finally understand, the envelope read. Inside, Sarah explained her vision. The store was never meant to be just a business. It was a hub, connecting people who could help with people who needed it. Your mother saw potential everywhere, James said. In business, in people, in you. Robert read the letter twice. The Christmas ornaments. She was teaching me all along. Each one represented a family we helped, a connection made. The store filled with more visitors. Former employees shared stories of Sarah's quiet influence. Children who received special discounts decades ago now ran successful businesses, helping others. We need to document everything, Robert decided. Create a guide for other businesses to follow Mom's model. James smiled. His son was finally seeing the true profit in his mother's work. Caroline's final message arrived. Divorce papers. Robert signed them without hesitation. Mom would say that's a Christmas gift too, he told Emma. Freedom to do what's right. The snow continued outside. Inside, surrounded by 40 years of his mother's careful records, Robert Hawthorne finally understood the true meaning of success. Sarah's last Christmas gift had worked its magic. Her son had found his way home. Christmas Eve arrived with fresh snow. Hawthorne Toys buzzed with activity as families gathered for the annual celebration, now transformed by the truth of Sarah's network. James watched from his usual spot near the old rocking horse as Robert explained the trust's new structure to the board members. Each ornament represents a commitment, Robert said, pointing to the tree. Not just to help one family, but to create lasting change. The store's new policy made Sarah's secret system official. Every business decision would balance profit with purpose. The Christmas fund would expand, supporting more families each year. Your father's found his way, Michael told Emma, watching Robert welcome new families into the network. James's health had weakened, but his eyes shone as he surveyed the scene. Sarah's final plan had worked perfectly. The store would continue its real mission, now protected by law. The Mega Toys CEO called, Emma reported. They want to implement our community support model in their stores. Your mother would love that, James smiled, her ideas spreading. Robert gathered the staff, including those Caroline had tried to fire. Everyone who's been part of this store becomes part of its future. We're not just employees, we're guardians of a legacy. The local news cameras captured families sharing their stories. Mrs. Baker's daughter, now a doctor, pledging to help other children. Tommy Thompson announcing free car repair classes for single parents. We've documented everything, Robert told his father. Mom's system will keep growing. Other businesses are already adopting it. James nodded. Sarah always said true profit isn't measured in dollars. Emma unveiled the trust's new initiative, the Sarah Hawthorne Foundation. Every Christmas ornament would now track not just one act of kindness, but its ripple effects through the community. Next Christmas will be different, Robert said, watching new families add their ornaments to the tree. It will be exactly what your mother wanted, James replied. Hope multiplying hope. The evening ended with a new tradition. Each family took an ornament home, promising to help others and return next year with stories of change. 1 year later, the store glowed with Christmas lights as crowds gathered for the annual celebration. The Sarah Hawthorne Foundation had helped over 300 families in its first year. Robert, now running both the store and foundation, hung an ornament for each new family helped. The network had spread to 12 other businesses, each adopting Sarah's model. Emma managed the community programs, expanding them beyond Christmas to year-round support. Every business decision still balanced profit with purpose, just as Sarah had taught. James watched from his wheelchair, oxygen tank beside him. His time was short, but Sarah's legacy was secure. Mom would be proud, Robert said, joining him by the tree. She knew you'd understand eventually, James replied. Real success takes time to grow. The old rocking horse still stood in its place of honor, surrounded by photos of families helped through the years. Sarah's quiet revolution had become a movement, spreading kindness through business. As snow fell outside, James looked at his family, Robert explaining the foundation to new members, Emma organizing next year's programs, the store full of people helping people. Sarah's final gift hadn't just saved the store, it had saved their family, their community, their understanding of what business could be. The Christmas tree sparkled with 40 years of ornaments, each representing a family helped, a connection made, a life changed. And in every ornament's reflection, Sarah's legacy lived on. True Christmas magic, it turned out, wasn't about toys at all. It was about hope, multiplied through generations, just as Sarah had planned all along. This would be James's last Christmas, but he was at peace. The true heart of Hawthorne Toys would keep beating, stronger than ever. The magic would continue, one ornament at a time. If you enjoyed this heartwarming Christmas story about family, hope, and the true spirit of giving, please hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. What would you do with a business legacy like Sarah's? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more touching stories that remind us of what really matters in life. Remember, just as Sarah Hawthorne showed us, true wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in the lives we touch and the hope we share.